Welcome everybody. In this video, we're going to talk about why NoFap is actually bullshit. So, I'm going to tell you three little factors that will make you understand that NoFap is actually bullshit. And it's not like just like what everyone is telling you on social media, oh, you need to do NoFap, it's actually good for you, blah blah blah. No, NoFap will kill you slowly, it will eat you alive, it will eat you raw, it will take your soul, it will literally leave you without a soul. Okay? And in this video, I'm gonna explain to you why NoFap is bad and how I had a very bad experience. You can listen to me because I've been doing NoFap for a very long amount of time and I've always failed in NoFap. And so the first factor that describe why NoFap is bad, first argument you can say, is streaks. Okay, so what do I mean by this? Streaks, for example, is when you go from day 1 to day 60 without watching pornography or relapsing or blah blah blah. And when you do, you are relapsing. And when you relapse, you basically need to do another streak. You have to do a streak from zero again, and you literally lost all of your progress. And so what happens here is that you are putting yourself inside a box. Okay, so this is you basically, right? Let's say that this is you. If you're gonna participate or do NoFap and you're gonna have streaks or you're gonna download those apps that you see on TikTok or Facebook or whatever, what's gonna happen is you're gonna put yourself in this box. Okay, and so when you're gonna lose or when you're gonna relapse or we're gonna think that you failed, what's gonna happen essentially is that you're gonna close yourself in this box. And guess what's gonna happen in the next couple months? You will think that you are a loser. You're gonna build a new identity, which is all built of shame. Okay, here we go. Boom, shame. And so this is the next argument that I want to talk about, which is shame-based identity. What's going to happen as well is that if you keep relapsing, right, and making you think that what you're doing is actually bad and you literally lost all of your progress, what's going to happen is essentially, obviously, it makes sense, you're going to have this thing called the shame-based identity. And this shame-based identity will create a shame loop. And so, what do I mean by shame based identity? What's gonna happen is next time when you're gonna relapse, you will be more emotional. So, let's say this is you, right? This is day zero, this is day 10, or let's say day 15, right? To make it sounds good, here we go. What's gonna happen is you see all of those days from day zero to day 15, you didn't relapse. But on day 16, right, you relapsed. On day 16, you relapsed. So, what's gonna happen here is that every single other days when you were retaining and you didn't watch pornography and you didn't relapse, you will forget about all of those things and it will only make you think about this day that you relapsed, which will push you to have this new identity. Okay, that's what I meant by shame-based identity. And so the only way to satisfy yourself is when you never relapse, when you are on a very high streak. Okay, and what's going to happen obviously when you're going to relapse, because obviously one day you will relapse, which is part of our human, obviously it's part of humanity, like you are a human in the end of the day. If you relapse, it's not the end of the world, but for you, you will think that it's in the end of the world, because NoFap have this rule, which is if you break your streaks, or if you break the long streak that you had, you're back to day zero. And that's the reason why obviously you will also have another factor, which is self-sabotage. You will keep sabotaging yourself into thinking that you are basically a loser, and you're not a loser. Why is that? Because you are a fucking human, and if you relapse, it's not the end of the day, okay, or the end of your life. Okay, and so this is what happens a lot in these communities that are very toxic as well. I can add this as well here, such as like the fourth argument. Let's just say C stands for community, right? The community of NoFap is very toxic. If you go from day zero to day 15, people are gonna be like, oh, that's so low, what you're doing, like make sure you don't relapse, bro, blah blah blah. And this will essentially make you feel like this person who will never achieve something greater. That's the reason why instead of doing NoFap, right? If you don't want to watch pornography and relapse, well, obviously what I mean by relapse, even the word relapse is bad. What I mean by this is instead of doing NoFap, just change it to SR. And SR stands for semen retention. Okay, semen retention is essentially when you are retaining your seeds, when you are retaining your semen in order to transmute the sexual energy that you can have throughout all of these couple days into something greater, into something that will benefit you on the long term. It can be your goals, it can be, your business, it can be you going to your work or going to school if you're a student, if you're a young gentleman watching this video, and so on. There's a lot of examples that I can give you, but basically, instead of doing NoFap and making you have sabotage in yourself, have build this, shame-based identity and relying mostly on the streaks instead of relying on day-to-day, right? And being grateful for every single day that you are retaining, even when you relapse. Obviously, it's part of the process. Just go and do semen retention, because semen retention is more like a spiritually based journey, we're gonna say. Okay, because if you think about it, semen retention is a self-discovery journey. It's not a journey like NoFap, which is all relying on streaks like a freaking robot. It's all about your own spirituality, your own, basically it's a self-discovery journey. Basically, that's all what I'm trying to explain here. There is other things that you're gonna find out when it comes to your journey, when it comes to, when you're doing sim rotation, but I'm not gonna talk about them in this video. I don't want to make this video too long. I just basically want to make you understand that NoFap is very toxic, very bad. It will always make you stay inside this box. Okay, you will think that you're doing a good job, but you're literally not opening. Actually, never mind, you're closing the box on yourself, and you go deeper into this box. Like, the longer you go, the deeper you go into this box, and you're just literally stuck deep down into this box, and you can just simply not find the key in order to, get off this freaking box, or just basically find a letter or whatever in order to get off this box and make yourself feel good as well. Okay, and so that's what happens when you do semen, well, no fap, sorry, not semen retention. When you do semen retention, everything else is better. Okay, it's basically the best version of NoFap, if I can say it like this. NoFap is like a version of like kids that you see on social media and communities on Reddit and blah blah blah, which is very bad. It's relying mostly on tricks, like I've said previously. But simulation is more like spirituality, trying to transmute your sexual energy and so on. So that's all when it comes to this video. If you want to transmute your sexual energy, I highly suggest you to watch this video. Okay, here we go. The video gonna be there. All you have to do is watch it. I will explain you how to transmute your sexual energy into something more beneficial in order to not, not keep relapsing, obviously. And if you want someone to guide you and make you overcome porn addiction, the only thing that you have to do is check the first link in the description if you want me to coach you, or the second link if you want to buy a ebook that will make you overcome this addiction as quick as possible. It's pretty easy, pretty straightforward. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I love you, and take care of yourself.